Final results from that investigation are not something we'll see overnight.
Well, you're right, Katie, but this morning naval commanders did brief us on some of the more significant things they will be focusing on in this investigation. And this investigation, as you just mentioned, is expected to take weeks. Now, part of the reason for that is because the answers to a lot of the questions investigators have lie buried in the rubble not far from where I'm standing.
Although the destruction that rained down upon the Mayfair Mews apartments Friday fell from above, the investigation into the accident is now focused on the ground. Both military and civilian investigators are combing through the debris to recover as much of the wreckage from the downed jet as possible.
We will take all those parts and put them into Hangar 23 over at NAS Oceana and lay them all out and start doing the detailed examination of what we find, looking at all the tapes, listening to all the tapes. We'll get the data recorders from the aircraft.
Unlike commercial airliners, the F-18 does not have the same black box flight data recorder.
We do have flight control, digital flight controls and digital recordings that the airplane does all the time. And those we think are pretty crash worthy. And we're optimistic that we'll be able to recover those.
The information from those instruments is a critical element of the investigation into the crash.
We'll undoubtedly learn, the configuration of the airplane, the operations as in its final seconds of flight.
Thanks to the heroic actions of citizens on the ground, the Navy has recovered two key assets in this investigation, the flight crew, both of whom have been released from the hospital.
Clearly that's a critical part of this, to be able to sit down with them in a formal process, in the mishap board, get all the facts that they have, reconstruct it in their minds and get it down.
At some point, investigators will have to look for answers to another question on the minds of many. Has residential and commercial development around the base become too dense, increasing the potential for another accident?
We're going to have that discussion, absolutely. There's a time and a place for it. Today is not the time.
For now, at least, both the city and the Navy are taking time to give thanks.
We're so blessed and truly believe a miracle has occurred here.
Yeah, that's Virginia Beach Mayor Will Sessoms. You know, yesterday there were some questions raised about the fact that the pilot of that aircraft was a trainee with an experienced pilot sitting in the back seat. Now, Admiral Ted Branch told me this morning that they were flying an F-18D, which can be equipped with a flight control mechanism for the rear seat, so that experienced pilot could have been assisting with bringing that aircraft in. However, I spoke with someone just a short time ago here who has extensive knowledge about the F-18 training program, and he told me that he was a little surprised to hear that they would be flying an F-18D out of Oceana, because that's an aircraft typically flown by the Marine Corps, something we'll continue to look into as this investigation progresses. Reporting live from Virginia Beach, Art Kahn, 10 on your side.